Welcome to the third round of this Legacy League. We are actually up against none other than Marius Hausmann, Marius of the Moon, a friend of mine who recently got into Magic Online. He's probably playing some sort of Grixis Delver. We are on the draw, and this is going to be quite interesting. Once again, don't laugh at this hand, as it doesn't have acceleration, but I think it's still okay-ish. And let's see whether he kept a hand only on the back of maybe two Gitaxian probes to draw into a land. We were talking about this early on, but it was about a situation on the draw with two probes. I don't even mind. I do mind. If he had Cabal Therapy here, I wouldn't mind it. He probably would take out this, or maybe even this, because this gives us 2 mana before we have to use Cradle. Like this, and this, and this works together, just like this, and this, and this, and this. But yeah, let's see what he does. So no Therapy first turn. No Delver. Ponder. Okay, Ponder helps. We can work with Ponder. Not having the second choke is somewhat annoying, because Galactique doesn't really do anything in this matchup. I really wouldn't mind having the second choke. Crop Rotation, we can maybe bait him into... Well, can't really call it bait when he has to Wasteland anyway in a certain position, but it certainly helps. Is he gonna... I'm gonna go for Crayon Ranger here. If he dazes this, it's okay. I'd rather have this daze than Wild Symbiote, because the game might go longer. And eventually I hope we are going to get some value of crop rotation, which will give us enough tempo to get even deeper into the game. As long as there's no Delver, Daze isn't that problematic. If he plays Deathfire Champion or Delver here, I'm feeling bad. Just don't play Delver, okay? Just play another Ponder. There's not many cards you could actually cast here that would do something with Volcanic Islands. Yeah, it can only be Ponder. Post-board, if he does have them, maybe Grimdarvomancers, but as far as I know he doesn't. Yeah. If he just played Volcanic in past, I would think, okay, Lightning Bolt's up, but it's not like we get to really play around that anyway. I really want to draw another land here, like a real land. That helps. This one, this one, this one, and then if he plays Pyromancer next turn, most likely, we'll fetch Dryad Arbor and then get some good value going. Maybe even cast Nissa next turn, because we have crop rotation. Like, if we can find Birchal Ranger's Heritage Druid or something like that. Oh yeah, him fetching... I hope it's for the second mana for Pyromancer, not for black mana for Cabal Therapy. But I guess a naked therapy... That's not a naked therapy, but a non-flashback therapy here isn't that backbreaking. And as long as he doesn't take out the natural order with the therapy, I would think that he would have Force of Will, which weirdly enough feels good, because that's 2 more cards that we don't have to worry about getting aggressive. Like, especially in the first game against Grixis Delver, you feel like you would most likely lose if they get like an aggressive start and ride a tempo victory. And here, he's got the Cabal Therapy. He might even take out the Visionary. I think it would feel very Marius-y if he took out the Visionary. But he could also be... Yeah, he takes out the Visionary. I think that's the right call. I wonder if he takes out the Wild Symbiote or like wants to prevent us from getting Dryad Arbor here. Because Dryad Arbor is quite important on this board. I hate it. I can't fetch Dryad Arbor now. I really can't. It's also the first time we're really presenting a creature that he could kill. Okay. Oh! I was just about to say, let's just draw Visionary. We can always do that. What if I get Dryad Arbor and then cast Visionary this way? Then I still have crop rotation up. It might run into Daze, but that's eventually okay. Or I just... I think it's good. I think I want to do that. Okay, so worst case... okay, let's not aim for the worst case scenario. Worst case scenario here is if he Wastelands the Cradle and bolts the Dryad Arbor. But then we still have some stuff going, and then dazes the crop rotation. But then, I mean, we are still going to draw a card here, and that card might be good enough. Our average mana cost is something like 6. We got crop rotation to take it down, but still. People say Elves is a deck full of low mana cost spells. Actually, it's like 13, 19, 20. Yeah, our average mana cost is exactly 5. If I was him, I would consider taking down... If he had Wasteland, he's certainly going to take down Dryad Arbor. Yeah, and he plays end of turn Brainstorm, probably because he knows that he really needs to make something happen on his turn. You could also make a case for... No, that would be stupid. I was thinking about crop rotating response to the brainstorm, but that's just stupid. If he does have days, then days plus wasteland. It's bad for us, but it's not the end of the world. Imagine if that first turn Ponder had been Delver, then we would have taken 9 damage by now, down to 9, facing another 3 next turn, probably a Bolt as well. Oh, not Wastelanding here. He must have something really... Oh, he's got... Oh, I don't know what he's got. He's got Pyromancer and Therapy. If he's not Wastelanding here, it must be Pyromancer and... Oh, triple Therapy, leaving us with just crop rotation. This is really brutal. I mean, it's not the end of the world because we still have Visionary action going on. But... Triple Therapy would be a big problem here. Because he takes out like this. If he actually ends up doing the triple therapy thing, it might be the most value he's ever gotten of single therapy hits. Like, not talking about hitting 3 or 4 cards out of your opponent's hand, but hitting single targets. But then again, you can always top deck Natural Order. And I know that he doesn't play Spell Pierces, at least in the main. Because we talked about that. Oh, there's Therapy. Oh, it's a flashback one. Okay. He might still have one. We don't know. Maybe he's gonna cast Zombie Fish afterwards. That's another reason to keep up the black. Would be so next level if he took out Crop Rotation. He takes out he takes out Natural Order, really? Huh. Is it Zombie Fish? It feels Zombie Fishy. It's Zombie Fish. Okay, this is... Oh. Would you really do that if you didn't have Force of Will? Huh. I'm confused. Like, technically I kind of want to bounce Visionary and then just get some extra value, but I also kind of just want to go for the kill next turn, but he must have Force of Will. Why would he not have Force of Will here? Next turn I've got 5 mana, 6 mana. Then he kills Nissa, then we do nothing, but we also... And by kill, I mean forces. I think it's okay to bounce the Visionary here. He might also force the Visionary. That also wouldn't be like the worst. I would actually consider it if I were him. I think. But on the other hand, he doesn't really have a really great clock. Gurmag Angler becomes a clock if you force a Visionary here. He doesn't know that you have Quirion Ranger, but it's also like not the greatest card in the world, and eventually we're going to lose Cradle. Actually, if we do play Quirion Ranger, we got 1 floating, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, then we got 4 mana, which is... Oh, okay. I think he might have Force of Will. Maybe he's bluffing, I don't know. Right now I'm just going with whatever feels right, but I think that works kind of well. Let's do it like this. Because we are in no hurry. Like, there's absolutely no rush, especially in the first game where he doesn't have mass removal. You can really, like, play a slow, careful game. You don't have to do, like, all these crazy shenanigans. And here... I think I like getting Heritage to it. Once again, this is a decision very much based on this being the first game and him not having... what's it called? Marsh Casualties. So, we can't even pay for Daisy if we played Nissa. What if I played Crop Rotation? What if I played this guy? This guy is basically free. Oh no, by the way, we can't play for Days if we play Nissa. If we play Crop Rotation and he forces it, that would be not ideal. I think we're just gonna keep making the okay play. So if I do it like this, bounce this, replay this, then I'm at 3, then I'm at 6, then I play Crop Rotation, then he forces it, then I'm at 5, and then that's bad, because then we can't pay for Days. So I think Just gonna do it like this. I would just keep going on riding the value train. When you're playing Elves, you shouldn't be too scared of just riding the value train. When you know your opponent doesn't have mass removal yet. It's just so tempting to crop rotation and go for it, but since he took away the... Well, he's... yeah... I guess the reason that he took away natural order would be... Like, him taking away natural order would be all the more reason to think that he wouldn't have Force of Will. But... if he doesn't have Force of Will here and no mass removal anyway, then we're probably not going to lose either way. I think it's okay to do it like this. I might be totally punished, but even if he has all the Cabal therapies in the world here, I think we're still in a really, really good position. Just based off what we have in hand. Also, if he goes for an attack with Gurmag, I might actually just take it and not block, because then he can't Cabal therapy away the Visionary, which is like the most important card on this entire board right now. Vision, that's right. Okay, now it's very unlikely that he could cast Cabal Therapy, but given that we are pretty much presenting 2 must counters next turn, I think it's safer to take the 5 damage. It's so unlikely that he would have like Black Source, Cabal Therapy, because that also would mean that he wouldn't have Force of Will, and we pretty much played the game in a way that we think he definitely has Force of Will. I think I'm still gonna allow for it. Maybe this is reading way too much into it, but yeah. It just feels like the only way we could lose if he goes like therapy this away, flashback, therapy that away, and then we win. Okay. And then we Wasteland's Cradle and somehow also takes out the Gaia's the crop rotation. But yeah, okay, so we got it. Sideboarding. I like Choke. I like Abrupt Decays because Delva is the most threatening card in the entire deck. And then that's pretty much it. I like always against Delva, take out the Natural Orders, take out the single Krotov, take out the Reclamation Sage, and then usually it's one more card, and that always used to be, yeah, Visionary. That's it. Somehow, I don't know, today everything is called a Visionary. Like, I look at this, oh, this is a Visionary, that's a Visionary, that's another Visionary. No. Too many Visionaries. I wish I could play more Visionaries, and I don't want to play Multanis Acolytes. Yeah, this is what I want to do. I'm just thinking about what Marius has in his deck. I'm not going to look it up, even though he sent the deck to me like a couple of times. But I'm pretty sure he's got 1 March Casualties and maybe Energy Explosives, I don't know. But let's play it like this. I never was on the Pro Tour. Oh, I've been listening to a lot of David Chapin's rap lyrics, rap songs lately. Again, I've always been loved them somehow. But yeah, they are quite catchy. Okay, do your worst. This is a really, really... I can't call it a really good hand, but it's a really solid hand. It's got solid mana. It's got a way to put pressure on the opponent by playing Tournament Deathwatch Shaman. Takes out the Delva if he's got it. Also has like even potential for great top decks because you've got lots of mana and 50% of the best friends team. All this hand really wants is like another Cradle or a Wildwood Symbiote, or maybe like Glimpse to put on some pressure on the 2nd or 3rd turn, depending on what lands we draw. Oh, hiccups. Come on, Volcanic. Find the Volcanic. I don't want to see the UC. Add blue. Okay, there's Diver. He's not playing Stiver, so no, but he already put a land in the graveyard, so it's okay. I think I still want Deathwatch Shaman. It's annoying if he dazes it. It's also annoying if he takes it out with Bolt next turn. But if it does get to live, it's it's really what I want to have. But it's such a delicate, like, playing post-board against Grixis Delver is a bit delicate because you really don't want to run to mass removal. Because while you can, and usually can, recover quite well from mass removal, this guy in the air is such a problem, so I usually like taking out sooner than later, because generally speaking... Oh, please don't aim a prop decay. Generally speaking, you can take a couple of Delver hits against most Delver decks and then just have overall card advantage. But against them, things can get out of control quite quickly. And then it sucks to be on the other side of the board at like 6 life and facing 2 Delvers. Or like a Delver and tons of tokens. And then you have all the card advantage in the world, but you just can't get by. You need one more turn. Abrupt Decay must be one of the least named cards on Cabot Therapy against me. And one of those cards where I feel like people should name it more often. Oh, Visionary, okay, interesting. So he's just giving up on the Delver. I guess he's only got 3 cards in hand afterwards, so he feels like what we have left if he took Abrupt Decay could still be good enough. He's not playing Divert, by the way, right? Like, I really don't want to run to Divert. Or as some people call it, Divert. I don't know, I call it Divert. Cradle helps. Okay, let's really not run to Stifle. Marius, like, would never play Stifle ever again, but I said the same about Delver and Daze. But... yeah. And there's just like this 0.5% chance that he would play Stifle, and then I would feel pretty bad about it. I guess what he actually could do is flashback. No, that would be... Nah, he could flashback Therapy with the Delver, but that feels so wrong. And then... But then what? Then take out Heritage. Like, if he feels that the Heritage Druid is more important to us than the Delver is to him, then he could do that. Oh, by the way, I should destroy that. There was something. Bam, bam. And then F6. Pyromancer? Or like Rise Fall or something? No. Oh no, I can't even do that when I don't have a creature in play. Pyromancer. Okay, Abrupt Decay, another one. And no Probe on his side. Ah, fuck. Probe is great here because it allows for Cabot Therapy to be utilized. And even though, like, he probably uses it on Nether Sentinel because that's the 2/2 that blocks his tokens. Deep analysis, Julian. The 2/2 is mightier than the 1/1. This really isn't an ideal position. Another Therapy? Bah. Oh, Death Rite is even worse, I guess. It presents a very reasonable clock. And we're only on 16 anymore. I think the card I want to draw the most is Ooze now. Ooze, or maybe Elvish Visionary into Ooze. Or Elvish Visionary into another Nether Sentinel or something. Oh, this is the card that I want to draw the least in the entire deck. I even sided out a copy, but what can you do? I think we're gonna lose. We can still draw Nissa. But even Nissa is not that good against tons of tokens. But if he doesn't find a cantrip... okay, there's the... Oh, even the best one he could find here. I was just about to say, if he's sitting on... Well, if he's sitting on Force plus Pitch, we are fucked anyways. But if he's sitting on... It's really hard to come up with a combination of cards that we wouldn't lose against. Maybe, I don't know, Lightning Bolt... And another land... I'm not buying it, and you're probably not buying it. So it's crafting different scenarios about how we can still win this game in my head. It's really hard to come up with one. The lion sleeps tonight. Da, 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 da. In my head, I'm already pretty much thinking about the third game. He's oh, it's Liliana. If he uses his Death Rite Gem here, it must be Liliana, the new Liliana. Psychic. But yeah, I guess Ooze is still kind of an out. Like, I'm gonna fetch Dryad Arbor here and then hope to draw Ooze. He's not committing his Young Parameter. Like, if I had... I guess if I had Pendelhaven of Crop Rotation, I could punish him, but not really punish him. Okay, Ooze one time. That's no Ooze. I think this game is over. Yeah, this game is over. Nah. Yeah, it's over. Draw one. Oh, there's Ooze. Maybe it wasn't over. Yeah, it feels pretty over. Yeah. Anyway, let's start the third game on the play. Kinda want the Nettle Sentinel. But I think it's okay, I want the other cards even more. It's good when you have so many cards that you really do want. That helps. I wonder whether he changes something on the draw or on the play. By the way, wanna see some magic? Check this out. Yeah. And then I got this. And then for most recordings, I will use this. Tell me which one you like the best. Like for just hanging out in the evening or watching something, I like this one. This gives it kind of like a Mexican feel. That's what it would look like if you were watching Breaking Bad and somehow my apartment was in Mexico. They would light it like this. And then this is like just somewhere in the office in New Mexico. And then this is at the dentist's office. At least that's what people call it when they talk about the different modes of this lamp. Marius, what's it gonna be? You don't know. Neither do I. I just know I wanna get turn 2 choke. That would be something. That would be much appreciated. Turn 2 choke through days. Well, he probably doesn't have days on the draw. Or maybe not even on the play. Turn 2 choke through Force of Will is not impossible, but it's quite unlikely. It happens like one in a couple of thousand games. Where you present so much mana on the second turn that I have to force something, then you can still choke. Yeah, it's probably not happening. Not amazed. Really not amazed, but it's okay-ish. The Abrupt Decay makes me feel better about this. Also having Acceleration. Like, people don't force fulfill your Acceleration often enough. It's not always right, and like I totally couldn't say if it was right for him here. It probably isn't. But sometimes, like especially with a hand like this, I feel like, wow, if my Acceleration doesn't go through, I'm in trouble. Also, please don't have Mass Removal. This hand is quite susceptible to Mass Removal. I want to choose on Bubblegum, but I can't because I tested it and it sounds horrible on stream. Okay. Show me what you're working with. Kind of want to have the Pendelhaven untapped. Oh, there's Diver, okay. Our Ooze as well. These are the kind of hands where you've got so many options and so many things going for you, and you eventually end up losing to Mass Removal. But you didn't play a Black Source, so there certainly won't be turned to Marsh Casualties. So I think I can try doing this and get away with it. We get punished super hard by Forkbolt. Oh, Deathwatch Gem would be a nice draw. But if we end up being punished by Forkbolt, so be it. No Bubblegum, Julian. What's wrong with me? F6. Of course, the most hilarious thing would be for this diver to flip off Bubblegum, of Forkbolt. Don't do it. He's like, should I just try and get there, or should I brainstorm? That's like a true test for how much of a man you are, as people say. It sounds weird, and it's probably not something. Ponder. Okay, got there. And then 6, come on. Hit me, baby, one more time. Get the Pyromancer down. I might even, like, I would even consider hitting the Pyromancer if he plays a Pyromancer and passes. Because Pyromancer is so good against Ooze. And it's also reasonable against Nissa. It doesn't stop the ultimate of Nissa, but it pretty much stops all the other modes. The lands need trample. Maybe I should play Rancor. Rancor Elf. Isn't that some guy who was banned from MTG Salvation? Pretty sure. He was... I don't want to say notorious for something, but I'm pretty sure he was associated with something very heavily. Like the way I'm associated with Elves. He was also known for something, but I can't remember. Marius is down to 9 minutes. What's going on? He's not that much of a deliberate... he's a very deliberate player, but also a very fast player. At least in paper. Yep, taking it. He played Brainstorm and Fetch for Underground, see? So... Therapy. Interesting. Has he seen my hand? No, he hasn't. He must name Natural Order then. Oh, he's got 5 cards in hand, so... Name's Glimpse. It always feels so good when the first Kappa Therapy whiffs. Gaia's Cradle would be a nice draw here. Gaia's Cradle would be great. Also, next turn he might have Marsh Casualties, which is something we should take into account. So if we can help it, leave the Pendelhaven untapped, Julian. Problem is we can't Abrupt Decay. And oh wow, he really... Oh, so he's gonna take out Ooze, I would think. Maybe Nissa. But we're still not that close to... Yeah, he takes out Ooze. Marius is the player I've played the most games in all of competitive Magic against. Like if I look at my match details, he's always the one I played the most. I think it should be close to 30, maybe more than 30 competitive DCI matches right now. And yeah, I don't want to say great minds think alike, because that would be like presumptuous, as you would call that. Cocky would probably be the best word. But certainly people who play a lot with each other think alike at times. Symbiote is a great draw, by the way. It's totally deserving of a chest opening. And he forces it even. See, that good. That's that good. That makes me feel even more that he has mass removal. Force Pitch Brainstorm even. Yeah, but he has to do it, right? So if I attack like this, and not with the Dryad Arbor, then I can Abrupt Decay and Pendelhaven next turn. But I think I won't need to do that, because if he goes for Marsh Casualties, then he won't have mana to play the something really important that I want to Abrupt Decay first. Ponder. Is he actually gonna time out? Probably not. 7 minutes is still out, and I think he can play quite fast if he needs to. Interesting, my girlfriend also told me that she times out or almost times out a lot in Standard. And her opponents don't. And like, not at all. And she feels like it's just that the software is running so slowly for her, because she doesn't feel like she's playing slowly. It's just when she makes a click, it takes a couple of seconds for it to actually catch on. So every time she does something, she loses a lot of time on that, and it's weird. It's really weird. I probably should watch her, but I think it's really about her computer being that slow. By the way, I could have played Nissa here, but I really think that's not some good expected value. Lightning Bolting Visionary must feel so bad. Oh, but he does it because he wants to play Zombie Fish, right? What else would it be? Yeah, Zombie Fish. Okay, now we need to find Visionary into... Oh, we already lost Ooze. Okay, so Visionary into Violet Symbiote would be helpful. And I think I'm gonna... Actually, probably shouldn't. Yeah, I think I'm fine drawing additional. Anyway, we will trade this for Force of Will, probably. I'm gonna fetch like this, because if he somehow takes out 2 Bayous before we find a tired. Yeah, let's do it like this. I was considering not getting the second Bayou because he might take them out before we would need Abrupt Decay. But the way the match has been running thus far, I think we will just... Oh, wow, it resolves. I was thinking we would... Oh, I'm so confused now. The match would end before that ever becomes relevant. So I could get back Scavenging Ooze, but then I lose Gurmag Angler. So I think I'm just going to make a 5-5 and bash in. Also, by animating the Dryad Arbor, if he really does have Marsh Casualties, we won't lose either of them, which is nice. So, am I gonna attack him or sit back? If I attack him and he has another Bolt, then we lose Nissa and then we're in a horrible position. I think, yeah, it's better to... But if I was... Oh, okay, see, this is the problem. If I was gonna do it like this, then I really should have animated the forest, because that can't be wastelanded. So what? Taking to 8, then you take... This is really bad. On the other hand, if he does have wasteland, then it's less likely that he also have another... No, it doesn't really make much of a difference. Maybe I should have left the second Dryad Arbor untapped. Yeah, I was trying to be too cute. I think I should have left the second Dryad Arbor untapped and tapped the Pendelhaven. I was just so concerned about Marsh Casualties. If he has Bolt, then we lose Nissa. If he has Bolt and Wasteland, we lose Nissa anyway. If he has Wasteland and no Bolt, then we don't lose Nissa. So, and if he has Bolt... just Bolt and no Wasteland, that's also okay. I think I'm gonna do it like this. Should have definitely animated the forest there. That was bad. Should have so much animated the forest. There's Wasteland. Oh, that was so bad. Green mana, but yeah. Should have so animated the forest. It was so bad. Anyway, you're not here to hear me whine. I make mistakes so you don't have to make them. And sometimes I make mistakes more than once, and that's when it becomes bad. The first time you make a mistake is great, because you will learn from it. Second time you make a mistake, you feel stupid. And he even attacks Nissa. I can't even watch. So he might even fuck Bolt turn, take a dealer damage to us. Just pass, Marius, do it. Can't even watch. He take Ratna. Yeah, is he faking it? No, he's not. He's not the kind of player to... Oh. What is this gonna be? Pyromancer? Okay, Pyromancer. Okay. We are still in this game, unless he's got Gutshot. Okay, this is out of Scavenging Ooze. Maybe I should have replicated this guy first. Or I could get Scavenging Ooze from the graveyard, but that wouldn't really do anything. Oh, I can't get anything from the graveyard, by the way. I think I should kill this guy. And then... Oops. Be like this. And then... It's really tough. Let's not make the same mistake twice. I'm gonna animate the forest for sure. So he's probably not playing Dismember. Kind of want to draw... Like, Quirion Ranger would be somewhat safe to get here. Having an untap effect really seems good. Seems really good. Maybe I should get Quirion Ranger, seriously. I'm not a fan of getting Quirion Ranger here. And I also tapped in a weird way. I should have left the Pendelhaven untapped. But I also kind of want to draw a card with the Visionary. Yeah, I think I should get Quirion Ranger. It's... Like, I made a mistake. I tapped the Pendelhaven. I shouldn't have done that. But... instead of making another mistake, which would be not getting Quirion Ranger here, I think I should just like own up to it and be like, okay, I made a mistake and still make the best choice from this position. And that is to get Quirion Ranger. Have I played a land yet? No. Okay. Let's get in there for 5. And then untap this guy. Bounce this guy. Okay. I really didn't play this game very well, but I think it might still be okay. Oh, this is a problem now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 mana next turn. If we don't, well, he can't really attack here. Yeah, he can't attack because the Gurmgang is too important for him. We can't draw Cradle, I guess. Battle Sentinel. It's a reasonable clock. It also makes it so that he can't really attack, I guess, because the crackback would be for 4. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. Also, he still doesn't have a second black, which is interesting. Oh, and did he not have the Lightning Bolt last turn? Because he played Pyromancer instead of Lightning Bolt? Or maybe he figured it would be okay to let Lysandre for a turn. Like, she didn't really do much except for Lava Exam. Choke would also be a decent draw. At least now that he's played Ponder. How many Wastelands has he used? 1? Still? Okay, so he's only used 1 Wasteland. We've got a really decent amount of top decks here. Unfortunately, not Ooze. But even a Abrupt Decay would be okay-ish. I wonder if he attacks here now. No, he still doesn't. Okay. Let's see if we can do this.
Finish him!
Perfect.
Well, not exactly perfect, but yeah, feels good. We won. Probably made more mistakes than the opponent, but still got there. That's the Elves way.
This is how we do it.
See you next round.